Okay, so this will be the solution for your practice problems or your seatworks. So let us focus on your first figure, 2-34. So if the magnitude of the resultant force acting on the high bolt is 600 Newton and its direction measured clockwise from the positive x-axis is theta equals 30 degrees, determine the magnitude of F1 and the angle phi. So take note that from the word clockwise direction from the positive x-axis, so we will go with the flow of the clock. So ito, let's say we have my Cartesian plane. That will be our Cartesian plane. Okay, and then this will be your 90 degrees x and y, and then according to the problem we have our FR which is 30 degrees below the x-axis from clockwise direction. Pag ganito yung direction natin, so this will be our 30 degrees. Yes sir. Then this will be our 30 degrees. Yes, this one. Okay, this will be 600 Newton, angle of 30 degrees, and then we have an unknown F1 angle phi. F1 angle phi and then we have our F2 angle of 60 degrees. So let's say this will be your F2, which is equal to 500 Newton angle of 60 degrees. Okay, so ito yan, buo yan. This is 60 degrees. Okay, and then we have our 450 Newton. 450 Newton, which has a slope of 345. 345. This is 450 Newton. So most of you use the method of a component method. So based on your answers, I know that you are very good in using your component method. So you have already mastered your component method, but let us use the fastest way in solving this problem. So we all know that F1 FR, or your vector FR, is equal to your vector 1 plus vector 2 plus vector 3. Considering this equation, we all know that your FR was stated as 600 Newton at 30 degrees below the clockwise of your x-axis. Therefore, your 30 degrees is probably negative 30 because considering its position, so nasa baba siya ng x-axis mo. So we have 600 angle of negative 30, which is equal to our F1, which is unknown, plus our F2. So our F2 is 500 angle of negative 60 because it is below the x-axis, right? Angle of negative 60 plus 450 angle of negative. So this theta, this angle is equal to 90 degrees, right? So 90 plus the angle, let's say phi. But what is your angle phi? Take note that your angle phi is solvable by our SOHCAHTOA. So this phi is equal with this phi. Okay, so phi is just equal to arctan 4/5. For arctan, opposite is 3 and the adjacent is 4. So arctan 3/4. Or if you would use your calculator, so I will show you the calculator. Our calculator. Okay, so we have shift tan 3 over 4. Okay, this is the value of our angle phi, shift tan 3/4. And then in order for you to store this one, so therefore pinutin yung shift and then press the store button, shift, and then you will press your store. Ito yung store natin. Shift store at any variable from A, B, C, D, E, F, and X, and Y. Okay? So, let's say your variable A. So, mapapansin nyo kahit sa calculator nyo may arrow dyan. So, that means na naka-store na siya. Okay? Balik tayo sa sa problem natin. So, we have our negative 90 plus our angle phi. Okay, we all know that our phi from our shift tan 3/4 is equal to 36.86987 blah blah blah, which is stored at A. Gamitin nyo na lang yung store at A natin. Okay, so plus alpha A or 36.8698965. Okay, or stored value. Okay, so plus 90. Okay, we have a value equal to negative 126.86. So we have then by further manipulation of this equation, so 600 angle of negative 30 is equal to our F1 plus 500 shift angle of negative 60 plus 450 angle of negative 126.8698976, or just use the 90 plus angle alpha. So this will be your equation. So solving for F1, we will have a value equal to F1 is equal to 600 angle of negative 30. So transpose natin yung 500 mo and then yung 450. So negative 500 angle of negative 60 less 450 shift angle of negative 126.87. 87 na lang dito, no, pero i-round natin siya sa sa sagot natin. So using your calculator, so we have 600 shift angle of negative 30 less 500 shift angle of negative 60 less 450 shift angle of negative 90 plus alpha A, which is equal to F1 must be equal to 539.615 plus 493.0127i. So there are two values that you can be found in this rectangular form of what you call a complex number. So this 539.615 is your summation of f of x component, and this represent the summation of your f of y component. Okay, so therefore our f1 F1 in polar form is equal to, pag naka-calculator kayo, press lang ang shift 2, 3. Okay, take note, pag gumagamit kayo ng vector, dapat naka-complex form kayo. Okay? So, the answer would probably be equal to 730.9214 angle of 42.41599. So, sinadya kong ganyan yung solution natin in order to show you that our F1 that you would input to your answer in LMS should be F1 equals 730.92 and phi should be equal to 42.415. So, round out natin siya. So, 42.42 degrees. This should be the numerical values that you should have input into your answer in your LMS. Okay. So, I will show you the calculator. This is the calculator method. So, I will show you the calculator in order for you to understand more about this. Okay. So, we have $600. Okay. Dapat kuan kayo. First, dapat complex kayo. So, complex. Pag nasa kuan kayo, sa calculator kayo, mag-mode lang kayo, then hanapin yung complex. Dapat naka-complex kayo. And then, press 600. Shift angle of negative 30. Less. Close and open parenthesis kasi mag-error yan pag wala. Less 500. So, shift 500. Shift angle of negative 60. Okay. Less 450. So, lagyan natin siya ng parenthesis. 450. Shift angle of 90. Close and open parenthesis. Let's say negative. Close and open parenthesis, which is yung 90 degrees mo plus the value is stored at our alpha A. Okay? Yan. So, it is equal to 539.615 plus 493.0127. So, mapapansin nyo, ito yung summation of f of x natin, ito yung summation of f(y) natin. So, how will we turn this one into its polar form? So, pinutan nyo lang yung shift, complex shift 2, and then, pag nasa calculator kayo, tignan nyo yung R angle theta. So, dito, meron tayong R angle. Ito yun, di ba? So, they will have a value equal to 730.92 angle of 42.4159. So, anong gagamitin nating theta? So, dapat, ang gamitin natin is 42.42 kasi nga round up based on the instruction, and then this one gagamit tayo ng 790.92. Okay? So, mapapansin nyo, napakasimple lang yung step natin, subtract mo lang siya. Okay? Pero iba lang, konti lang sa inyong naka-analyze niyan at walang gumamit. Okay, this will be our first solution to our problem 2.34. Diba ang ikli lang? Next is, let us consider this 2-6. So resolve for F2 into the components along the U and V axis. Okay, so you can see that this can be resolved into a Pythagorean parallelogram. No, it is the easiest way. Okay, because you can directly use your sine law or cosine law. Okay, so let's say this is your U and your V. U and your V, which is 30 degrees, right? So angle is 30 degrees. U and V is 30 degrees. Okay, they are separated by 50-degree angle. So you have our U axis and then your V axis. And then take note that you have your 150 pounds. Ito yung gusto nating ilipat. Ilipat yung component niya, di ba? So 150 pounds. 150 pounds. So ito yun. At an angle of 60 degrees. Diba? Kasi 30 degrees to. And then 30 degrees to. Pag kinuha mo yung total niya is 60 degrees. Tama ba? Yan. 60 degrees. So, mapapansin mo, pag gagawa ako ng line dito, imaginary y coordinate, okay, and then this is 90 degrees, right? 90 degrees yan, at gagawa ako ng theta dito. Take note that a complementary angle has an angle equal to 90 degrees, right? So 90 equals theta plus 30 degrees plus 30 degrees plus your theta, right? So therefore, my theta, my phi, pala yan. So bind natin yung symbol kasi pangit. Dapat theta yung nakalagay. So theta plus 30 plus 30. So mapapansin mo na yung theta mo is just equal to 90 less 60, which is equal to 30 degrees. Tama? So ito yung 30 degrees natin. So plus 90. So let's say this will be your angle beta. Beta is equal to 90. Tama? 90 plus 30, which is equal to 120. So pag project ko tong 150 pounds dito sa tip ng y natin, so projecting our 150 pounds here, so 150 pounds, this is 150 pounds, you would notice that the angle beta is equal to actually to this angle, right? Parehas lang sila, okay? From your laws of triangles sa angle of beta. So how would we solve our U and V? Easy lang, di ba? By sine law or cosine law. But discretion yun kung anong gagamitin nyo. For me, I would use my sine law because it is easier. So I have 150 using sine law. Sine 30. Kasi ito yung nasa opposite direction niya, is equal to V all over sine beta. Dati pag ina-analyze ko yan, para hindi ako malito sa formula, kung ano yung yung magnitude nito is yun yung kalaki ng buka nito. Parang ganun, okay? Okay, parang kanyan parang paano kung gaano kalaki yung pagbuka ng mga no, ganoon din yung theta niya, tama? So yung buka ng paa nyo, yun yung paa nyo, yun yung paa niya. Ito yung distance niya from this point to this point, and ito yung theta nyo. Parang ganun lang yun. Style yan para ma-memorize siya. So 150 over sine beta, but our degrees is equal to 120, tama? So 150 times sine beta all over our v. V yan, tama? V. Okay, V. So our V therefore, or our FV is equal to so calculator lang. Dapat pag pinapanood yung mga videos ko, meron kayong calculator lagi in order to understand more about the topic. So we have 259.8072, or V is equal to 259.81 based sa instruction ko. Then how will you solve for your U? Ganun lang din. So we have our U. So ito yung U natin. Okay? Yung U natin, so this is our U. May buka siya. Anong angle to? Let's say this will be angle alpha. Take note that the interior angle of a triangle is always equal to 180, tama? We already know that your beta is equal to 120 plus your 30 degrees, which is plus your alpha. Ito yung interior angle ng triangle natin. So your beta natin is equal to 120 degrees from our calculations earlier, right? So therefore we have 120 plus 30 plus alpha, which is equal to 180. Makukuha natin yung alpha natin, which is basically equal to 30 degrees. From inspection alone, alam na natin yung yung U natin is equal sa F natin. Tama? Bakit? Kasi para sila ng buka. So for further manipulation, or para makita nyo na yung solution or yung buka niya, yung force ng U natin is 150, let us solve using this sine law. So mapapansin mo that our 150 pounds has an angle sine 30 degrees. 150 sine angle 30 degrees, which is equal to our U all over sine 30 degrees then. So makakancel yung 30 degrees, your U is equal to 150. Therefore, our U here, our F2 here is not the resultant force. Bakit hindi siya naging resultant force? Take note na meron tayong component X and component Y. In this situation, hindi natin ginamit yung component X and component Y, bagkus is that we tend to rewrite the 150 pound into two components, which is not exactly equal to 90 degrees. Okay? So how will you write it into your LMS? So based sa aking instruction, so our V is equal to 259.81. Meron na dati yung pounds na unit, and then our U is equal to 150.00 pound. So ganyan yung dapat siya isulat sa LMS natin. Okay? Though kinonsider ko yung iba based on their solution. Yan. Okay?